What's going on there, guys? I'm here back in Forza Horizon 4. I'm Bakays, and today we're testing out the new Porsche 356 by Emory Motorsports. And you can see this isn't no ordinary 1960s Porsche. This has got a 2.4 litre boxer engine with twin turbos, and it develops just under 400 horsepower and has a lot of torque to push this thing from 0 to 60 in well under 4 seconds, and hits a top speed of about 180 miles an hour, which is actually limited. And you can see this accelerates with ease. And handling on this is also pretty good too. Fun fact about this, the owner of Emory Motorsport had this commissioned, and it's recently sold at auction for, I think, $800,000, which is an insane amount of money, considering it's an old Porsche. We're going to have a look at the interior here, though, and as you can see, it's got the rev counter in the middle, as well as the speedo to the left in kilometers an hour, and the speedo to the right in miles an hour. Then you've also got a boost gauge. I'm guessing that's for 1.5 and 2 bar of pressure. You've also got the manual choke, I think that is there. Very stripped out cabin. And if we just stop here, we can see from the exterior a little bit more. So you can see it's got Momo Italy wheels, so forged. It's also got these yellow accents on the wheels and the wheel nuts, as well as the air intake that you can see there. And with the red bucket seats, with that very resto modern look. And you can also see that there's these air ducts on the rear quarter windows, a partial roll cage, the twin turbos down there, and what looks like 4 brass or golden exhaust tips. And also with the window there, you can see that it's sort of like a race car-like window. And bodywork does look pretty amazing, though. So what we're going to do is probably uprate this, because I know that it's quite fast, but we can see what we can do. Could we make it into an S2 class hero? Let's find out. Here we are with the upgrades. So as you can see, there are the specs there. Quite quick, really. Has just under 500 Newton meters of torque, and also notice the weight is extremely low in this rear-wheel drive, rear-engine Porsche. Quite a big front to rear weight distribution split. Let's see what aero we can add to it first. Oh, very nice. Quite a sleek little front bumper. Very sleek as well, and that really ups the handling. Look at the difference there. Not much sacrifice in speed either, so we're definitely going to add those two. I think it should be on race... Oh no, it's not on race tyres from the get-go. It's got a 9 handling, and we're not even at the top of S-Class. 225s at the front, that's quite skinny. And 255s at the rear, we can upgrade them to 275s. Look at the stance of this. This is a fantastic motor. Get some race brakes on there. Now, let's keep the regular springs. Not much else to upgrade there. Now, let's get into the... Hold on, before we get into the meat and potatoes, let's just check if there's any engine swaps we can do. So we can put in the 3.2 litre flat 6 twin turbo. I'm not quite sure what that's from, actually. If you do know, let me know in the comments. I'm not really good with my engines, per se. I think that could be a race engine, but nevertheless, let's just fully upgrade this stock engine. See, despite the horsepower gains, the stats aren't really going up. So... 470 horsepower now. So we can mill this into a 2.6 litre block. See, the power gains aren't necessarily that big, really. Just putting it in the cooler on there. So we're just in the tip of S2, weighing just under a ton. Let's just do the gearing as well. So, a power-to-weight ratio of over 600 horsepower per ton, which is Bugatti Veyron levels of power. We're going to just tune the gear ratio slightly. Maybe make it accelerate a little bit more, because we don't need to go 200 miles an hour in this. So we'll keep it up to the stock speed, and you can see already 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, and under 6 seconds to 100. Let's give it a less aggressive camber profile. Maybe make the anti-roll bars a bit more stiffer. Need a bit more rigidity at the back. Keep the ride height fairly low. Let's put the ride height slightly up in the rear actually. Bump stiffness, we're going to make that a little bit more stiff. Turn the aero all the way up. And also put the braking slightly balanced towards the rear, I'd say. Or does that affect the braking? Makes it slightly worse. Make it... Yeah, let's tune it like that. And you can see with the aero, we've put it all the way up, but it doesn't affect the top speed. Oh, a little bit too much power to keep it in line. This has got about the same amount of power as the previous generation Porsche 911 Turbo S. Enough fannying about, we're going to take it on this Derwent Reservoir Sprint. Despite the rear-wheel drive, it launches extremely well. Oh. Trying not to crash into my opponents. Wow, the handling. It just outhandles most of the things on this grid. See, I don't really want to get caught in the straights. I've limited the top speed to 180. It's capable of over 200, but didn't really want to affect the balance of the car too much. Oh, wow. Oh, just made that turn. See it struggling for grip, just bouncing around in the rev range, especially up top. The peak torque is mental. And the final drive just gives it that extra torque throughout each gear. Quite far ahead. Okay, this is where the other people might catch me. This is quite a long straight. Easy handling through this. Somewhat of twisties coming up. Have to lift off the throttle slightly there. Oh, broken out into a drift because we hit a grass patch. Slowing down here. Oh. Wow. It's so composed. So easy to drive. And it looks fantastic. See, whoever thought a 2.4 litre boxer would be this tunable. The twin turbos kicking in 573 horsepower. Flat through there. Over 150, which is incredible. Had a little bit of an upset on the last corner. And still made it across the line in style. Into a bump crash drift with a time of under 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Wow. So, about 7 seconds ahead of the competition. In doing this, we'll test out its real 0 to 60 time. Go in the interior view for this. Let's hold it about 3,000. Or 100. 30, 140, 150, 160, 170, 181, 180, 181. So the specs don't lie. That's what we're doing. Let's go from full speed to 0, just at this tunnel. Hit ABS, and as you can see, we stopped from the end of that tunnel to just over this bridge, which is pretty remarkable, actually. The thing is, because it's got such little weight behind it, it's just easy to throw around. So, what I think of this as a stock car is that it is really incredible. It's so composed. It's actually a very good S1 class car at stock. and despite it being a tuner car, it's not really laggy. The power delivery is very good, especially for a twin turbo. You expect it to be quite peaky, but even in a modified state like this, especially in this state it's doing, if you tighten up the gear ratios, you don't need any of the top speed, especially around some of the tracks on this game. But anyway, I hope you like that. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy your 356 by Emory Motorsport. Take care, peace.